Oh, shit. Hi, guys. I am back in the bus, Manny, but I am not in that forest anymore. Yeah. We're in the bus. I am literally relaxing. I am not doing anything. I fell down. Oh my God, you guys. Literally yesterday. I really hope. Let me check my Facebook messages. Maybe she sent me the video of me falling. Hold on a second. There. So yesterday, I was wearing my new boots. I bought these boots, I don't know, in like February or something, March maybe, when I got my tax money. And they have those like hook things that you like wrap your laces around in order to like really get your shoes on like tight strapped to your ankle. Well, I had my shoes tied and I took one step and I was like I was walking fast. And as I took a step, the loop from the bow on my left shoe got hooked in the loop on the right shoe. So my feet were literally tied together all of a sudden. Like my laces were tied together. And I fell. Whop. I landed on my hands, so my shoulder's hurting a little bit today. I got like a little bit of pain in my shoulder and a little bit of pain in my both wrists. But the funny part about it is, one, that place has so many security cameras that I was definitely on camera. So I told the girl who works in like the owner, the manager, I was like, can you go back and look and see if you caught my fall on camera? And if you did, send me the video. So I fell. I asked her to get it on camera. Sorry, I got distracted by a message. And then I looked up and I realized that there was a news camera right there in the parking lot because the place got robbed the night before. And so they were making a news story about it. And so the guy who was filming for the news company or whatever theoretically got me on camera. I just kind of wish that people weren't laughing at me behind my back and they would send me the video so I could laugh too. You know what I mean? Hey, I just got your text message. That's what distracted me. I didn't finish reading it though. I love you. I miss you. I can't wait to see you. One day we're going to live together. We're going to get old together, you and me, girl. Once Elliot's old enough to get out of the house. Just a couple more years. Who am I kidding? He's going to live with me until he's 40. Oh, that's fun. I love doing that. I used to love going through my mom's photo album. Dude, my mom went to school with Judge Reinhold. You know the actor Judge Reinhold? My mom and him were in the same graduating class at Martin County High School before he was a celebrity. Kristen, you should come visit me. You should come stay here for like a couple of days. We should go do all the fun things out here in this area. We should do that. Oh, let me show you what I made. So, does it look like a leaf? It's a page they wrote about gas crisis because gas was $1.15 a gallon. Look. So I'm going to make these granny squares, I think. I just have to motivate myself to like, the thing I don't like about these projects is that you have to cut and switch. I hate switching colors because you have to stop what you're doing and like switch the color and then restart again, and it stresses me out. I like to just keep going. So I'm struggling, and I've got to find a way that I can make these in a fluid way without having to... Man, I wonder if I could just make granny squares off of each other. Like if I could just give it the look of granny squares. I don't think I can. I think you really do have to do it. Anyway, I want to have a bunch of different leaves. Fuck yeah! So yeah, that's the thing. Is so this is the first one that I ever made, and I don't really like the I haven't gotten the hang of the thing yet. I don't like the way that this looks. The gal who I got the thing from, man, it would make a perfect vagina though, right? If you just did like pink in the center and then did like a darker, like purpley pink on the outside. You could make a vagina granny squares outfit. Man, my hand is starting to hurt. You guys, oh! That's why I got on the live. You guys, literally, I just booked another job that has nothing to do with the internet. 100% it's word of mouth, my work ethic and my work ethic is, my reputation is bigger than me, and I didn't have to sell myself at all. This is someone who overheard the work that I do and how hard I work or whatever, and took it upon themselves to find me because they like what they hear. And so this person, it's crazy, dude. So the job that I've got that I start tomorrow, the big new job, as like the groundskeeper stuff, that job starts tomorrow. Then I have dreadlock work that I do on Thursday. One of my bestest friends in the whole wide world is coming to see me. I haven't seen her in probably 2 years. Really fucking excited about that. And she's going to bring me jewelry. She's the one who made all my jewelry. So she's bringing me some of those like mid rings or whatever. I don't know, whatever you want to call them. The rings for your fingertips. She's going to bring me more bangles. Fucking so excited. She's my favorite. And so anyway, she's coming on Thursday. And then I'm going to go back to the big job on Friday. But starting on May 10th, I think, is when it'll really be kind of kicking into gear. Is I'm going to go to this lady's house. She's an older woman. I think she's turning 90. But she's not like, I didn't realize she was 90 until she told me she was 90. She sounds like she's 65. So, she's like, she has heard through word of mouth, what kind of a person I am, what kind of job I do. And so she hired me she wants me to work for her full time. She wants me to be there like every other day. So between her and this groundskeeper job, I'm going to be like, dude, I'm like realizing all this right now. But like, ultra poverty is like over now. Like, it's done. It's over. And I don't have to ask for help. I'm just going to be able to make really good money. And I don't have to rely on stupid social media. Like, don't get me wrong, I love you guys. Obviously, I'm here and I don't get paid for it. So, like, I don't know if, a lot of people I know, if they weren't making an income doing this, they wouldn't do it, but I just love to do this. Live streaming is a hobby of mine, and I enjoy it. I enjoy live streaming. Maybe I've always been a little bit of an exhibitionist, but like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm gonna be able to like live my life, and I don't have to go without anymore. If I want something, I could just go get it. If I need something, I can provide it. And man, that shit feels so good. I'm fucking happy. I don't have Elliot with me. So, by the time that Elliot comes back to my house, I'll have already been working for her for, like a month at that point. So, I'm sure she'll be fine with Elliot. She was like, "How old is your kid?" And I was like, "Oh, he's 9 going on 10." And she was like, "Oh, that's cool." She's like, "Because my 90th birthday is coming up in July." She's like, "And everybody's coming from all over the world." She's like, "Oh yeah. So the boss who I work for, the groundskeeper, has like $100 million, right? And this woman has like $60 million. Like these people are like multi millionaires." And so anyway, she's like, "I'm throwing a big party for my 90th birthday, and everybody's coming from around the world." She's like, "I got people coming from Italy. I've got people coming from, Detroit. I've got people coming from Florida, from California." And so she spends her winters in California, and then she spends her summers here. And so wants she's having her friend, somebody, I don't know. There's 2 kiddos, 8 and 10 years old, and they're both boys, and they're both coming. So let's see, June, July. Yeah, so Elliot he'll be with me, right? April, May, June, July. No, he would be with his dad, but it doesn't matter. I'll go get him anyway. But they're going to be here for a few weeks, staying. And so, Elliot will have some people to play with while I work and stuff like that, which will be really, really, really good. Nope, I just dropped off Elliot yesterday. I dropped him off 5 days early. I dropped him off 5 days early so that I could get this job done, and because like I don't want to keep putting off the big groundskeeper job. Like it's already been a week and a half since I went there, met him, and got the job. And I don't want to like make him wait and make him wait and make him wait and then like reschedule. I don't want to do that. I want to get there and at least get a couple of days of working done, so he's able to kind of get a feel about whether or not I will work out long term. You know what I mean? So I just want to get that under the done. And so I'm gonna go there tomorrow. I'm gonna go there tomorrow and get started. I really don't have any clue whether or not I'll be able to live stream. I'll probably try, but I think what I'm gonna need to do if I want to like actually have a live going or anything like that while I'm working, I think I'm gonna have to get a signal booster. Oh, and you guys, I just started an ivermectin protocol. So if you are curious about that or you have any info about that, send me a private message through Instagram, and I'll either tell you what I'm doing or you can tell me what you've done. But I'm going to tell you that I had a noticeable difference in the last 24 hours in how I feel. So that's cool. Oh man, I cannot believe this. I literally have so much work to do. Today's my last day of being able to just like soak it up. I wonder if I have any money in my account. I'll be right back. Sweet. My check went through. I need to go get dog food. I need to go get like simple lunches I need to grab things that I can put in the refrigerator at work. I need to get myself one of those shiwis. The things that help you go pee in the woods. That way, if I'm wearing my overalls, I don't have to like take my clothes all the way off in order to pee. So I just found out too that my cell phone has satellite texting and satellite phone calls. I'm wondering if everything works on the satellite. Oh shit. Look at that big old belly. The babies. You got the babies in there? You got the babies in there? Nipples are getting big. These the mamas. Oh, oh, there's one right here. There's a baby right there. Oh my god, I literally feel the babies moving. This is the first time I felt them move. The money mamas. I gotta get up, girl. I need to get up. You gonna bite me? You gonna bite me for touching your back legs? Isn't this how you got into this mess, girl? I love you. I love you so much. Nikki, are you knitting anything right now? Are you working on any projects? Dude, I fucking love her so much. Is it not working? God dang it! You should totally try to crochet. The reason that I got discouraged with knitting was because of how fucking long it takes. It's way more work than crochet. Her leg is stuck in the air. She's a happy mama-ish. I promise you, once you learn how to crochet, you're gonna be like, why did I take so long to do this? Because like the cool thing is that you have like single, double, triple, and quadruple crochets. So like a single crochet is that tall, a double crochet is that tall, a triple crochet is that tall, and a quadruple crochet is that tall. So like if you're doing quadruple crochet across the whole thing, you're literally covering and you're making an inch of fabric. It's I want to get together and I want you to teach me how to knit faster. I want to see how you hold your knitting needles too. Look at her nipples. Look at that big old nipple right there. She's your big old nipples hanging out. She's got like, this happened to her mother as well when Selkie gave birth or when she was pregnant, but pregnancy kind of fucking takes it out of them. I got her on wet food because I was starting to get worried about her hair falling out, but she started to look real rough. Like she wasn't grooming herself properly. Like she looked sick. She looked like she didn't feel good. And now her ears, she's got like scabs, like little scab marks or whatever, like all over her head, all over her ears. I'm like afraid to touch them. So I don't want to accidentally pick the scabs off. But she was looking real rough. I was like thinking to myself, like, probably nutrient deficiency. Like, she's got access to wild animals. She's eating organ meat. Realistically, she's, you know, she's got access to like more nutrients than I think I could get her over the counter. But, aw. I ended up getting her on wet food. I put her on kitten food because I want her to get all those calories. I don't want the kittens to take away from her, you know? Like, I don't want her hair to fall out because the kittens are getting all those nutrients. So, I got her on wet food. And also, I want her to hunt less. Like, she's a wonderful hunter. Yeah, 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 yeah. But I want her to be doing less hunting and being out at night. So, I've been able to successfully, through feeding her wet canned food, I've been able to keep her inside at night from like 9:30 p.m. until 4 a.m. And that is a win for me. Two big stretches. Two big stretches. The mama stretches. I love you. I love you. I love you. Dude, I literally love her so fucking much. When her mother was pregnant with her litter, I could not keep my hands off of her belly. Like, literally, all night long, I slept like this. And, ooh, there's one moving right there. But, Selkie was obsessed with me more than usual at that time. And I was obsessed with touching her belly. Like, I just wanted to hold her belly. Wasn't like that. I mean, like, I touch their bellies, like, all the time when they're pregnant, just because, you know, I want to feel the babies move and stuff, but there was something different about it. And then when this cat came out of her, like, this was the first cat out of the whole litter to walk up to me. Like, she just, like, walked right up to me, curled up in my lap, and was like, all the other cats were scared, you know, because for the first couple of weeks until their eyes are open, I pretty much don't interfere. I just let the mama do her thing. Like, she knows better than I do. I'm just going to let her do her thing. I'm just going to check on the kittens to make sure that their little nails aren't hooked up on something, or, like, you know, I just want to make sure that they're alive and they're okay. So I will check on them through the day, but I don't touch them. I don't mess with them. So a lot of the times when the kittens get to their eyes open and they start to come out into the world, for like a split second, they're a little on the feral side. You know what I mean? Just for like the split second until they get pet one time. And then once they get pet one time, they're like, oh my God, this is great. Not her. She literally was not afraid. She just walked right up to me and got in my lap. And the crazy thing was, she was supposed to go to someone else. And the only reason that she ended up with me is because a girl was living at my house and decided she wanted to keep her. And so it was her cat. And she ended up leaving one day and never coming back. She broke her tailbone. And so she just dipped out and never came back. And she couldn't. She had to go to the hospital, and then she just, like, homesteading, you know, living off grid, and the rough life we lived was not conducive for someone with a broken tailbone and a broken pelvis. So she left and literally, like, didn't ever come back. And so the cat was just with me, and it was 100% designed by God that way. Like, she was supposed to be with me. And apparently the reason why I felt such a urge to put my hand on her belly or on Selkie's belly, was because Money was in there. And Money is my girl. I'm excited to see her kittens. It's so quiet in here. Ugh, hiccup burp. Hey, W. Oh. How the fuck did that happen? Oh, my hip hurts a little bit from when I fell. Ooh-wee. And then, while I was building this dresser yesterday, I put this dresser together yesterday and was like loading it up, and my phone, so I don't have a phone charger that works very well anymore. And I went outside to go and get my phone charger out of the car, the only charger that I have that fucking works. And I walked out of my front door, and my socks, like my foot was in my socks, and my socks slid like this around my foot. So when I took a step and I went to like propel myself forward, my foot went like this in my sock, and I fell right outside my front door. Then I got 2 fucking feet that way. I was going around that animal enclosure right there, and there's a hose that's like where we do all the water for the animals and garden and stuff. Well, the hose had like a little bit of a loop sticking up on it, and even though I was like, oh, don't step on that, don't trip yourself on that loop, I still tripped myself on the loop. And when I like had to like to catch myself, you know, like try to get my legs to the ground, I fucking stomped my fucking left foot down on a piece of gravel so hard. So my left foot has a big old bruise in the middle of the heel. Pretty lame. Yes, she's my soul kitty. Is my front door wide open? Guess I never went back and shut it. Weird. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm like feeling like limp. Yes, these are fabric drawers, but I got this shit for free. This shit was sent to me for free from the TikTok shop. And how crazy is it? It matches the one that I already have like perfectly. What? Get out of here. I can't even believe it. It is nice as hell. It's got the tiny little ones. So I have a drawer for like my private stuff that would normally go in my underwear drawer. I have bras, panties, specialty socks and gloves. So these are the socks that I don't want to fish around for. These are the ones that like I wear inside the house only. These aren't work socks or whatever. These are like fuzzy socks or whatever. Then I got all of my socks, and they're all matched up. I got all of my aprons, all of my vests, all of my PJs and slips, bathing suits, tank tops, long sleeve, or no, regular t-shirts and midriff tops, long sleeve shirts, bodysuits, socks, I already showed that. I got dresses, regular breeches. Oh wait, no, these are like sleepy breeches and breeches to wear underneath my skirts. Let's keep my legs warm. And then I've got skirts and long dresses. And then Elliot has all his drawers. I actually am still using, oh yeah. And then I've got this one full of sweaters and hoodies and not hoodies, but like sweatshirts. And I still have to go through the bottom 2 drawers here and get all my stuff out. But then I still have that dresser over there. And I think I'm going to use that dresser over there to my crafting stuff. But I'm thinking, like, what if I brought that dresser that's back there and put it right here in this, like, empty space that could be utilized. And then I can keep all my craft stuff there. And then this can be my, like, sewing, crafting, whatever, station. And once I get this area cleaned up, this area is where I have a built-in stove here. It's like right there. So I have a built-in stove over here, and if I can get this built-in stove working, and then I could put maybe a sink basin here, I could have a hose coming in through the window, and then I could just drain the sink either into a 5-gallon bucket, which is not what I want to do. I want to put a hole in the floor and have a pipe just going straight out. So the hose, it attaches to a hose and it's just going straight out and down and out. So then I could just have a hose in here to, hose off my dishes. Everything is great. So that's what I'm hoping for. I just need to figure that out, get that part done. And then this will be where I cook food. And then that area right there, this is a large piece of plywood. It's bigger than this piece of this table area. So this would make a really nice sewing table. Like if I put my, where's she at? I don't remember what I did with her. Oh yeah, she's over here. This thing, my cutting mat, I have the biggest cutting mat. And so if I put my big cutting mat right here, it fits perfectly. And then I will have like a big table to sew at as well. Pretty excited about all that. You know what you should do if you're battling mold growth with it is you need to sand it down and refinish it. I have a little bit of a headache, so I should probably hydrate. You want to go in your spot? Oh, I want to pull out the, yeah. Well, that's good. Don't drink my water. Come on, let's go put you in your spot. Dude, I have this steam machine if you want to use it. I also have, back up. Good boy. I also have a I have this steam mop. So, like, I'll just figure out which one that I like and I can give you the other one. Come on. He's a chunky boy. He's a chunky boy. My feet hurt. My left foot is really hurting. Right here. Boy. Ah, 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 ah. Ah. You can't have that. This dog food will make you sick as fuck. I gotta run into town. I hear her now. She hears me. Come on, Cheek! Chicken! Cheek, 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 cheek. Usually that sound gets them. Come on, chicken! 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 I saw her this morning. I didn't see the black chicken though. Chicken! I know it's raining, but don't you want food? Aren't you hungry? Huh, weird. Chicken! Chicken! Damn, this bitch usually comes running. I'll be pissed if I just spent $40 on bird seed or bird bug. Bugs for the bird. And they go and get themselves killed. Cheek, 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 cheek. Cheek, 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 cheek. Cheek, 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 cheek. Cheek, 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 cheek. Chicken! Cheek, 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 cheek. Oh, there's my cat. She got tired of my chicken calling. Ooh-wee, man, my heel is hurting. I wonder if Adam would be okay if I moved my chicken coop over here by my bus. What? Oh, is it raining? You want to go inside? He's like, I'm done. I'm out. I quit. I'm over it. I'm over it. He's over it. If you guys ever find this in your yard, this is not hen bit. This is dead nettle. And it is extremely good for you, especially women's. Ooh, look, my new flowers are blooming. I got a new flower blooming. Ooh, Nikki, that's cool. That's why I'm wondering if my steam mop thing does that. If it turns into a... Okay. Gonna loop in there. Yeah. There we go. Right? I'll turn it around. Did the dog go inside? Yes. wonder if one of those magnets. Cool. All right, now we shall have, oopsies, very zoomed. We're gonna have the beans. We're gonna have some beans. Beans, beans, magical fruit. I'm gonna plant things in that. Damn it. How does this freaking thing keep coming undone? So much for drying out in the sun. Okay. Well, what a nightmare. I love when there's a path, like a clear path. Makes me very happy. Just the feeling of like a clear path. Oi, oi, oi. Makes me a very happy person. Where's my jewel? Ruh-roh. How come I do this like 50 times a day? Why? I love my little garden. It's so teeny weeny. I mean, it's not overwhelming, which makes me a happy person. Okay. What? Yeah, and what? And then what? I feel like if I moved this thing and this thing that way a little bit, I could probably get this table right there. What? You have food. Go get your Orly food. Yeah, it's in the kitchen. Go get it. Orly's food is in the kitchen. I need like curtains, but I don't want curtains. I want the kind of curtains. I want like beads. Like how I had this for a little while. So like I want like 100 of these. So I can just have my curtains like this. So that's what I want my curtains to look like, you know? Like have like that. So I saw this thing on the internet, this super cute grandma. She took glass beads and shells and stuff like that, a lot of glass beads. And she took chicken wire and she framed the chicken wire to the size of the windows. And then she took those little glass beads and she used jewelry making jumper rings and stuff. And she hooked in the opening of the chicken wire so that the thing dangled, kind of how I'm doing my dress. Love that. It's hard to see through, but you can see through from the inside. Like you can't see in, but you can see out. And it's pretty from the outside. The hiccups. Is that male? No. My heel hurts. Have you gotten the taro ant bait stuffs? My mom and my grandma had a foolproof method for getting rid of the queen, which means the whole colony dying out. But she would take boric acid, and she would mix boric acid with a little bit of peanut butter, and then she would have a dish, she'd have like food and water. She'd have food and water nearby. And when the ants eat the boric acid and then they consume water, they blow up. I'm pretty sure that boric acid is what's in taro. I don't remember where any of my bait traps are right now. Liquid ant baits. So far, so good. But I also only have had a couple of ants in here. I did discover like a little trail of ants, but I sprayed with the poison. Oh man, maybe I could do, no, I need sandpaper. I want to finish the top of my counter space. And I bought some vintage aqua. I bought this kind of color because, you know, duh, it's me. And I got polyurethane to make it shiny afterwards. But it's matte, so it's not going to be like, you know, how my grandma's house was everything was yellowy tinted because the polyurethane discolored after a couple of years or whatever. But I'm going to use that on that. So I want to have a teal wash. I might even do this teal wash, and I'll probably do this one in a teal wash as well. But I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'll just do like the front and the posts in the teal wash. I don't know. Adivon ant gel from Amazon. Yeah, so that's why I get boric acid and like the taro. I didn't buy that. Adam bought it. He gave me them when I told him that there were ants taking over the shed. So, Rachel. Let's get a nutritional shake. And let's crochet for a little while, since I can't do anything else. I've not even lying. I have been living off of these things for the past 3 days. Let's put on a show and crochet. Hey. Crow. Oh, wait. I need some fuzzy socks. Where is fuzzy socks? In the fuzzy sock jar. Dude, this dresser is like perfect. All those clothes, like all the clothes that I washed, you guys, like, you know, I did 20 very large loads of laundry. Every single item is in a drawer. And I'm going to start putting my fabric in here. I'll like organize it by type. So, you know, like the slicky stuff I'll have in one place. The jersey knits I'll have in one place. The wovens I'll have in another place. Pretty excited about that. Dude, I'm very excited about the way that my house is going to evolve over the course of the next month. Like, I love my kiddo, and not having him really is a bummer. I get such bad anxiety whenever I drop Elliot off at his dad's. I think like, what if something happens and he dies and I'm not with him or something? You know, like I always get this irrational anxiety. But it is really nice. And I will say that I do have like the best of both worlds, because I get to be myself. I get to be like a single woman, childless single woman for a month. And then I get to be, I'm a mom for a month, and I definitely get the best of both worlds. But I really, really, really do really and truly want Josh and I to live in the same place. So that's going to be my goal over the next couple of years, is getting Josh and I together in the same place. I want to do it before Elliot completely grows up. Like once Elliot becomes pretty much a teenager, this is pointless at that juncture. You know, the reason that I want to live close to Josh is so that we can raise Elliot as a team. And there will not, dude, if we were living in the same place, there would be so little yelling in the house. There would be so little of that fucking battle bullshit that happens when Elliot and me are alone, because he does not do that when his dad is around, or when both of us are together. He can't pull that shit, because if he starts to do that to me, his dad will pipe up and be like, excuse me? Who are you talking to like that? That's your mother. You know, but when it's just me, you know, it is what it is. It's crazy too, because like the only reason that when I left my husband and I was like dating, the only reason that I was doing that was because I wanted a teammate to parent with. And like, I want my son to have a daily, I want him to have daily exposure to people with work ethic, people that are working, you know, like that are doing things. So that way he is in a position where he is doing things as well. And I will say that I am getting that a little bit here, because Elliot does, like when he sees Adam outside working, he's putting on his boots and he's outside, you know, with Adam, following Adam around. Adam doesn't care. I've already talked to Adam about it. And I was like, listen, don't hesitate to tell him to like fuck off, you know, if he's just following you around and chatting your ear off, because that's what he's going to do. Like put him to work. Don't just like, you know, don't just let him pester you. Make sure that he's, you know, doing stuff. And so Adam has been putting him to work, and he's been helping Adam in the yard a lot. So he is getting that a little bit here, but you know, you guys, I'm sure for the most part, know why I don't want Elliot hanging around like Adam and Amy and, you know, stuff like that. It can go without being said. But I don't want him just like all around them all the time, you know, for reasons. And also like, I'm not partners with Adam. Like I'm not in a relationship with Adam, because like there are things about his way of living that I could just not vibe with. Also, like I don't ever ruin my friendships by sleeping with people. It just causes nothing but problems. And so it could never evolve any further, because I am completely against any of that kind of activity. But like the reasons why I don't want to be in a relationship with him or any man are the same reasons why I don't really want Elliot following him around all day, every day and stuff like that. So it's conflicting. It can be a little bit of a stressful situation, but the thing that brings me the most peace about it is the fact that Elliot is watching someone work, watching someone figure things out. He's, you know, something needs to be done, and Adam's like, ooh, I have this thing over here that I've been, you know, that would fit perfectly here and would make this thing function. So he's like MacGyvering, you know, things and showing Elliot ingenuity. Elliot hasn't, man, he's got it. Elliot's got it. his little brain can see where things would fit and where things would work out. Like, for example, I've been using this like cat bed thing that you hang up in the window. And I was like, dang, I want to put this somewhere where it would like stay and it could just stay there all the time. And so I was trying to figure out how I could rig it up on the side of my bed. And Elliot was like, Mom, wait, you could put it up there and it would fit perfectly. And sure as absolute fucking shit, the window's closed. And so this thing just plops right there in the fucking metal frame of the house. Perfect. So now I put this back here, this little pillow, so Money doesn't have to jump so high and put so much pressure. I'm worried that if the act of jumping that high and the weight of her body from the force of jumping, I'm worried it'll break. So I put this pillow here to give her something to jump, you know, to get up there from, so that it's not such an intense, it doesn't break, you know, because this is Temu. This thing is from Temu. So there's that. I really wish they made these things bigger. Not charging. Dude, this thing has been plugged in all night and it's at 46%. Love it. All right.
Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydoe.com for a link for tickets. So the headline is Virginia Guthrie, one of Jeffrey Epstein's most prominent abuse survivors, dies by suicide. Is there really anybody working at MSNBC who believes that? There can't be. That's my conspiracy. How about that? So just to recap, instead of Trump and Pam Bondi releasing the Epstein evidence being suppressed, one of the victims was suicidal. No. You shouldn't be suspicious at all that she's talking. Well, here she is, because why is this suspicious? So there she is. The media immediately jumps to it's a suicide. She tweeted this out in 2019, December 10th, 2019. So about roughly 5 years ago. I'm making it publicly known that in no way, shape, or form am I actually, that's more like 4 years ago, right? I'm not good at math. I'm not a math surgeon. I'm making it publicly known that in no way, shape, or form am I suicidal. I've made this known to my therapist and my general practitioner. If something happens to me in the sake of my family, do not let this go away and help me to protect them. Too many evil people want to see me quieted. So, why should we be suspicious? Just that she's talking about the fact that she isn't suicidal and that evil people want her dead. Like, why would the same people behind Jeffrey Epstein want one of his victims dead? It's are you going to put your tinfoil hat on a little too tight? And by the way, where the F do you get tinfoil these days? It's all aluminum. Right? I got to go back to 1913 just to get tinfoil. I love tinfoil. Right. Aluminum's no good. Tin, I'll
I will sew some big patches, and then I can put that red.
That's my big question.
In 1913?
As a liner. I just don't know if that's good for bathing suit material.
By the way, a lot of people say right before they suicide themselves that they're not suicidal. That happens all the time. That's called a cry for help, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
Cry for no help.
So what I did,
cry for no help.
Here's what I tweeted out. I said Virginia Guthrie tweeted she was was not suicidal. She knew they were going to kill her. The Mockingbird media immediately reports she committed suicide. Immediately. if you think Epstein's most vocal and outspoken victim committed suicide, then I've got a COVID vaccine I'd like to sell you. That's me being cheeky.
Can you just give it to me for free?
I think so. So here's a little bit of the story. So her life certainly fell apart since she tweeted that out. Since she tweeted out she's not suicidal, a lot of sketchy things happened, right?
It's 6 years.
She got into a bus crash. A bus crashed into her, rendered her. She said it was going 70 miles an hour. I've never seen a school bus go 70 miles an hour.
110. So 110.
Did she?
It was
Kilometers, though.
There's no way that could be. So, and then she didn't even go to the hospital that day. She went the next day. And then at the hospital, she said the doctor said I have 4 days left to live because of my kidney thing. Well, first of all, what
I wonder
doctor
if I
says
could
4
do the
days?
leaves in this stuff.
But there's a lot of speculation that because her marriage had fallen apart in 22 years and her kids were taken away from her, that she was being desperate and she was tweeting out that she's on death's bed so that her kids would come visit her. That's speculation. It's all speculation.
Let me try a new craft today.
not unreasonable.
No, of course, it's not unreasonable. So here's what I got this from Gateway Pundit. The New York Post, however, reported that the crash was minor, and that a mother of one of the children on the school bus reportedly said, "I don't know what's true and what's not true, but I do know the injuries are not from the bus incident." So she had all these injuries. She had all these bruises and what have you. Gouffre was sexually abused by Epstein and Maxwell from 1999 through 2002.
When you say sexually abused, let's be clear. She was raped repeatedly.
Yeah, she said she was passed around like a candy dish. After she met the couple in Florida and was lured into their scheme as she attempted to straighten out her life. She was a victim of sexual abuse as a child. So that's exactly the kind of people they prey on, right? Gouffre said
You guys have no idea how close I came to being an Epstein victim. You have no idea.
And French modeling mogul Jean-Luc Brunel. Gouffre sued Prince Andrew in 21, leading to an undisclosed settlement in 2022 while maintaining he never had sex with her. Yeah, okay.
Let's do a new craft today.
Sweat. Here's his two.
That's right.
Honesty.
Remember that? He doesn't sweat? That was
Oh, yeah, no. It breaks very easily because it's from Temu.
So, guess what? That guy Brunel was charged with sexual harassment and the rape of a minor in December of 2020. Gouffre testified against him in Paris in June of 2021. While he denied wrongdoing, he died allegedly by suicide. Epstein died of suicide. Brunel died of suicide.
So this is a frame.
Now the accuser died of suicide. It's
Oh, it's a sad story. Really, it must be a story of bullying. Now that I think of it.
So he died of suicide while in pre-trial detention. Sounds just like Jeffrey Epstein's suicide, doesn't it? He's in pre-trial detention. And he died the same suicide. That's like, who's Jeffrey? What's the
One
chances?
of the guards there.
What are the chances that would happen? I'm gonna guess, I don't know, 100%. So it looks like they were afraid Brunel was gonna spill the beans. So they suicided her. Okay. So there's nothing clear about this case. I'm not saying she didn't suicide herself. I'm saying that I don't know how anybody could be sure. Now, our good friend Ryan Dawson, who's a friend of the show, he makes a compelling case here. He says Virginia Gouffre, her kidney failure wasn't from the car crash. Going to the hospital because of a car crash serendipitously alerted doctors to her kidney condition that was already terrible because I guess she was taking pills for years. She was taking opioids and
Damn it.
mess up your liver.
I knew I was going to do that.
No, I do not. Do you?
No,
Fuck.
I never saw where it says. I just see pills.
Yeah,
A lot of different pills.
They told her she had about 4 days to live if she didn't get treatment. She wanted to see her kids. No one came. Her kidneys were most likely dying from pills and the sexual abuse from looming divorce. From sexual abuse plus a looming divorce plus
Hopefully
being
they're
separated from her
identical.
kids plus tabloids attacking her was killing her. She self-medicated. She died last night, April 25th, on her farm in Australia. And he says, I know people are making a picture of a post she made 6 years ago, if not 6, It's about 5 years, right? 4 or 5.
2019, 2025.
So
You're fine.
December of 2019 would be about 5 years, right?
Yes.
Okay. Saying she'd never kill herself. That was before losing her husband of 22 years and 3 kids. She said 2 weeks ago that she was ready to go and just wanted to see her babies one last time. She posted the song "Somebody That I Used to Know." That song, "Somebody That I Used to Know."
Elliott Smith. That's
I
very,
fucking need to do it. Damn it. No.
That's kind of strong evidence if you post Elliott Smith music.
Well,
What are you thinking?
he also committed suicide. Elliott Smith, right?
That some people don't think was suicide, but
You're
I
kidding.
have no idea. Oh yeah,
Okay.
there's always a question.
She posted a black screen with a broken heart emoji. Okay. He goes on to say, "Stop saying Virginia was killed. You are scaring the shit out of the other victims. I've been calming down panicked women all day. This isn't some joke. Think before you write stuff. These are real people. Virginia has a family. I really hate conspiracy kooks. You don't."
Yeah. Like,
Well,
look, if you
what?
want purposeful disinformation, I don't know why you would have that feeling, because how
It's a-
are people to react? We didn't get the evidence we were supposed to get,
We didn't get it.
and now she's dead. So, both things
So-
are still plausible.
Right.
Honestly, I'm not sure, because it could have been that.
Okay. So he says, "Trust me, you don't know the full extent of the story. Trust me, you don't.
I know. That's why everybody's suspicious.
Nobody knows the full extent. They never released all the Epstein stuff. And anyway, so keep going. And you don't have to, but you do know that you don't know. So stop flippantly guessing just because it's good for the memes.
That's not why.
I swear our social society is pure rot. People will do anything for clicks. Stop monetizing other people's suffering. Virginia was absolutely heartbroken, devastatingly hollow. She is a huge reason why Epstein and Maxwell and Brunel all landed behind bars and why Prince Andrew lost $16 million. She did great damage to the pedophile network, but they also did great damage to her. Don't lie about her life or her death. No, I'm not lying. I don't know. I guess maybe other people are.
He's talking about like on X, people will post real like crap. There's
Yeah.
like aggregators like
Yeah.
that Pong dude from Malaysia.
Okay. She had kidney problems, and that's not related to the bus accident. It's just something they discovered because of the accident. She wasn't doing well, and that's all I will say. And it's not a surprise to me at all that she took her own life. She had a 5-year nightmare with serial rapists. Honor what she did. She took them down. I do honor what she did. It damaged her. Other things did too, but this was a broken and rebuilt person. She jailed 3 of them and sued others. She brought closure to hundreds of women. She took on teams of lawyers with nothing and won. Never forget her courage and sacrifice. R.I.P. I'm not for. So I'm sure he's speaking to other people. Hopefully.
I'm still angry that I don't know. Why do we not know still? What is this?
So, I certainly don't know either way. Now, maybe Ryan has inside info that he hasn't released. He said, "I'm not going to release it. That's all I'm going to say." So, and maybe if I had that information, I would think differently. But I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
But I do know there's lots of suspicious suicide. So the theory is like, well, why would they kill her now? She already told her whole story. By the way, guess where she got trapped? Guess where Epstein met her? Do you know where Epstein met her? Mar-a-Lago.
Oh yeah, right.
That's where they got her. That's where they.
Melania might be one of those brides that he developed for rich people.
So that's where. All I know is that that's where they met her, and I think it's okay to speculate about this case. She's dead, so it's not going to hurt her. And I don't think it's crazy or irresponsible. You have to report it, and then you have to report that being skeptical of the official story doesn't make everybody a crazy kook.
It
And
sounds like he's talking to somebody specifically that he saw it to me.
yeah, I'm sure he saw a lot of garbage. So I immediately by the way, underneath my post, I immediately put his post there. I was like, hey, Ryan Dawson says I got this wrong, and he makes a compelling case. So it wasn't like I was trying to just tell one side of the story. I'm like, well, here's the other side of the story. And so there's, bigger.
The bottom line, that's crazy. Okay, even if, by the way, let's say his scenario that he said, maybe like he has the knowledge of it. I still count that as them killing him. You know, if you got so damaged and you
Right.
did enough pills to destroy your kidneys, you don't find out till a minor accident. Obviously, what our national security did to her is really like I don't know. To me, that's 100% to blame. I'm not 100, but 99%. And the fact they're not coming clean with it is like that's spitting on whatever she did more than anything.
And
Because we were supposed to Ben had known that.
well, of course, we also know, Kurt, that Epstein was working with Israeli intelligence, right?
Oh, no, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm Lex Friedman. No, I don't like
So-
that, Jimmy.
So I would always say Mossad, but Whitey Webb, or do you say Whitney? I like to call her Whitey.
I say white meat.
Whitney. She said that Epstein was working more with their military intelligence than the Mossad. So whatever, it's military. So Israeli intelligence. I'm sure the Mossad works hand in glove with the military intelligence. So it was this Israeli intelligence. So, and we
don't forget, Jimmy. What's her name still alive? Ghislaine. Now,
yeah, Ghislaine's still
isn't she-
alive. Why isn't she
Okay.
dead?
I bet Epstein would have played ball and kept his mouth shut. Ghislaine was in charge. Her dad got a hero's funeral in Israel after they killed him.
Right.
He got a hero's funeral. She was in charge, not Epstein. He clearly worked for her because he's dead. You know, she's some kind of important bloodline is what that means. Like she's too important. Otherwise, she'd be dead too.
That's a very interesting
And how
theory.
do I really know that she's in jail? Jimmy, I want to
Well,
ask.
I've always thought that.
I want to
I
add.
always thought that they say she's in jail, just like they say that Epstein killed himself. It's like, what? How do you know she's actually in jail? It wouldn't surprise me. Way crazier things have happened than the deep state.
How does
lying
the
saying,
dog
"Oh, no,
hair
she's
get
jail."
in there, of all places
not.
in the whole wide world?
That's a very. I'm not saying she isn't in jail. I'm saying that it wouldn't surprise me if I found out she wasn't.
And what is she in jail for if they don't reveal
Right.
anything that
She's
happened to those people?
she's in jail for trafficking young girls to very powerful men. Except we don't know who any of the powerful men were. But they got her for doing it. But who did she do it with? Who were the men? I guess we'll never know. So
I
there's
just want to add this really quickly. The Daily Beast just released the information, a story about
Yeah.
Virginia.
yeah.
And they were saying how her lawyer, Carrie Loudon, cast her doubts over Gouffre's death, claiming that there are big question marks over it. Quote, she was in a lot of pain, but she was looking forward to things in the future. She wanted to renovate this house and all sorts of things like that. Luke Loudon, who had represented Gouffre since January, told The Sun, when I got the phone call, I was like, are you joking? Because there was no sign that that was something she was considering. We've got big question marks over it. Not going to speculate whether it was a suicide or accidental.
So
Well, it's
no.
drug abuse.
Yeah, it could be.
No, it's not suicide either way because his thing is drug abuse.
Right.
Long-term drug abuse. What he's saying, I wouldn't call that suicide, would you?
So her own lawyer is saying that there's doubt about this case. So no shade to Ryan. Big fan of Ryan and his work. And again, like I say, friend of the show. I admire his work. He does good. So I'm just saying that and I'm not saying I disagree with what he said. I'm just saying that it's okay to question this. It's super sus, as the kids say.
And we want justice.
And it's what's also sus is that the people who ran and campaigned on releasing the Epstein information pretended they released it to those handful of conservative influencers, and they did it.
Yeah. You would have thought the
So-
shame would have drove some of them over the edge.
So this Brunel's suicided. She's suicided. Epstein suicided. Come on, and somehow Ghislaine not suicided, and she's supposedly in prison. I would like some.
Oops.
Isn't it
Well,
weird
should
that
we
she
live
doesn't
in,
do
like,
it, and she's not doing any interviews from prison? Isn't that also interesting? I mean, Charlie Manson did interviews from prison his whole life.
She did one.
Did
I
she?
saw one. Oh yeah, I
Oh,
saw
she
one.
did?
Now, yeah, people have been and seen her. Now, it's very possible she's living quite well as part of the deal in that prison. people that are in prison like that, notoriously for years, like the mafia hitmen used to get furloughs. So there's no telling what kind of sweetheart stuff without even sneaking it. Just legally they could do, because they did it for Epstein, if you remember. Epstein could leave his prison the first time
Yeah,
he got
the
taken.
first time. That's right.
So it's not like she's not in prison, but you think she's getting bad treatment? You think she's not getting something a little extra good? Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody certainly doesn't want this getting out there, but I'm sure everything is just the way it looks. I'm sure everything is just the way it looks. Now go about your business. Nothing. The show's over, folks. Nothing to see here. So I don't think that. I think that we need a lot more answers. I think we need a lot more investigation. And I think we need people. I think it's okay to be skeptical of the official story. I think it's 100% okay to be, especially this. So,
Yeah, it's kind of a look. They're classifying it. This is again. Dave Smith said this to. I don't know who it was. It was a great point he made. Okay, so there's a child trafficking network here,
yeah.
which that should be just eradicated immediately. You're saying you're going to very important, powerful people for national security, and that's what America's worth. America, for security, will allow a major child trafficking ring of American kids and never bring the people to justice. That's what your country is.
Yeah, not a legit set. So now you know why also they had to come down so hard on those, what was it called, the Pizzagate, right? And so
Yeah,
if you've
and
ever,
that has not been debunked.
that has not been
Sorry.
debunked. If you've ever heard, now didn't you have information that the guy who shot up Pizzagate, that
It's
went
just public information. He shot a hard drive in the closet.
he went in and shot the hard drives at that pizza
well,
parlor.
It was an accident, I guess. I don't know. Then
And then what happened to that guy? Then that guy got released with no charges,
a
right?
week later, people on January 6th were in jail for how many years?
Yeah, right. For 20, some of them 23 years.
This guy got out a week later.
So the
only
guy
reason
who
I know-
shot, so the guy who shot up that pizza place,
out of work actor. That's his
he-
job. I'm not saying that to.
he got let out a couple weeks later, and then
Then
what?
just at Christmas, he gets killed by the cops.
Then
in a
just last
police
Christmas,
shootout.
he gets killed by the cops in a shootout.
So yeah, there's a lot of strangeness. Also, the guy's name, James Elephantis, that is not a real name. And if you look up what his name looks like in French, which is like Jaime l'Enfant, it means I love the little babies. So
Uh-huh.
he gave himself a fake name. There's a lot of weirdness.
There's a lot
going on
of yeah. So the biggest weirdness comes from these Podesta emails. If you ever read those, when they talk about, hey, we're going to fly in $50,000 worth of pizza and hot dogs. Joe Obama's flying it in, and then hey, if you you guys could go for a swim with the kids and have a pizza. You're gonna all this pizza. So definitely, whenever you're not allowed to question something, which you weren't allowed to question Pizzagate, you're just like Seth Rich, just like COVID, just like the vaccine, just like the Wuhan virus. When you're not allowed to question normal questions. He'd ask a question about those emails and about what they're obviously in code terms, pizza, and that means they're covering up something. I learned that firsthand from Seth Rich. How hard, if they come down so hard on you for just asking normal questions that anybody, a normal person would have, they're covering up something. So there was definitely, so of course, maybe it wasn't that, maybe it wasn't a child sex ring with the Pizzagate, but they wanted to squash anybody talking about a child sex ring because the government was running one, or with Jeffrey Epstein, because they actually were running a child sex trafficking ring. They actually were. And then there's P. Diddy, and now there's Diddy. So it's all, and again, it's all over the place. So they didn't want people, they wanted to make it toxic to ever ask a question about a child sex trafficking ring being connected with the powerful people running the world. Now, obviously, there was at least one.
How about Marc Dutroux? How about in the 90s when all those Belgians were out in the street because their royal family and people high up were in a network with that Marc Dutroux, who was even worse than Epstein? That was huge news that I had never heard until you had Whitey Webblehunt and she talked about it. These are all connected. They're all connected, and they go back a long way.
So,
just like the drug running, just like the CIA
just like
drug.
That's right. That's exactly right. So, and the guy who exposed the CIA running crack in Los Angeles committed suicide. How? He shot himself in the head twice. That's the official story. Shot himself in the head twice. Okay, so I'm just saying that I think it's a-okay for you to be skeptical of because the lawyer is, her own lawyer skeptical. It's a-okay to be skeptical of it. And why aren't they releasing all the information on Epstein? Because it has to do with Israel. That's 100%
Also,
why.
Here's the other thing.
And it has, and maybe even, who knows if Trump is implicated. They met at Mar-a-Lago. There's millions of pictures. Everybody knows he was buddy with Epstein. So was Clinton. And how many times did they fly on that Lolita Express and go to the? So it's too many powerful people, including Israel. So it's 100% legit to be skeptical of this story and ask questions, because even her own lawyer is skeptical of it. So I got to go. We have a
They're
guest.
blotting out the sun right now in UK. So now, I'd say all things are on the table as far as craziness.
Yeah.
I understand hating disinfo people, because the Pizzagate thing you brought up, when Hillary's emails were out, people, and I think this is on purpose. I don't think it's someone stupid. I think on purpose they're putting out fake emails where she's like, "Oh, it's sacrifice night," and that's a debunked, and it is debunked. But that's what they do. They muddy the water with nonsense things. 9/11. Oh, it was a hologram. The plane. You could hear people saying stupid stuff, and what I didn't know at the time is there's people on purpose doing it.
Yes.
But if you on your own think the wrong thing, I don't.
So when people pull out, so when you got guys like Kurt Weldon, who's very credible, was next in line to be chairman of the Armed Services Committee, and then the FBI sabotaged him because he started asking questions about what actually happened on 9/11. So now he's coming out. He was on our show, over 1 million views. He goes on Tucker's show, 5 million views. And so now this skepticism about 9/11 come out. Now you see people start tweeting, "Oh, the planes were holograms." So that's to try to discredit anybody who's asking questions. That's what Kurt is saying, and that certainly makes sense. So they try to make. So they do that. That's why they call the people truthers, right? They even made the word truth toxic. Oh, you're a truther. You mean
I'm a liar.
So you mean I'm asking actual legitimate questions? You mean engineers, hundreds and hundreds of legit engineers, the head of the engineering department at the University of Alaska, they're all saying that those buildings didn't come down the way they said they did. So they have to make that toxic.
One of these guys
So they
just asking questions?
Yeah, so they have to make that toxic, right? Just like during the anti-war movement in the 60s, the CIA and the deep state had to influence look, it's just the hippies. It's these scummy drug addict hippies. Before that, the anti-war protesters were all people in suit and ties. And then it's just these scum. So that's exactly what they do. They try to discredit anyone who's onto their car and onto their shit. So
well, Jimmy, I'm sure there's nothing to this coincidence that all the thought leader, counterculture musicians that drove that were all the sons and daughters of military.
And all of them.
I'm sure there's no reason for that.
No reason. All of them.
Yeah.
Hey, I have an urgent retirement warning. Even as Trump stands up to China, billionaires are fleeing Wall Street, including Warren Buffett, who dumped $133 billion in stocks. But I trust the experts at Colonial Metals to help you. So visit colonialmetalsgroup.com/Jimmy-door-show or call 888-910-1419 for your free gold guide on how to bulletproof your IRA and 401k with gold tax-free. You can also qualify for a free home safe and as much as $7,500 in free silver. Once again, that's colonialmetalsgroup.com/Jimmy-door-show or call 888-910-1419. Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.
I will not bow. I will not break. I will not bend. I will, again, march into this office with all of the individuals who stand by my side, all 800 attorneys, again, defending the Constitution, defending the rule of law, and standing up for New Yorkers and all individuals who believe in our system of government.
57 years after the assassination of Dr. King. And Dr. King talked about that stone of hope. And it's that stone of hope that gives me a fire in my belly each and every morning. It's that stone of hope that allows me to wake up and to stand to Donald Trump and to say, Donald Trump, I'm not afraid of you. I am going to use the law as a sword and as a shield and challenge Donald Trump.
Tonight, a vocal political adversary of New York's Attorney General filed a letter of complaint with the state's second judicial district, urging an investigation into Letitia James. This comes in light of a criminal referral to the DOJ.
Listen, the documents speak for themselves. The evidence is there.
Right, one of the residences she said was her primary residence, so she could get a lower mortgage rate. Reporters have been knocking at the door. The neighbors have never seen her there. I mean, she has been caught red-handed, dead to rights.
New York Attorney General Letitia James is in some deep trouble. It is coming from all sides. So at this point, Letitia James must feel like she's in a pressure cooker right now because, let's be honest, it is getting ugly fast. She's not just dealing with some online rumors or angry tweets. She's facing some real-life criminal referrals, some official ethics complaints, and it's becoming a full-blown war. No matter how you slice it, whether you think she's innocent or guilty, this type of smoke you just can't wave away. So let's get into it.
And that has Rensselaer County Executive Steve McLaughlin, a Republican who was indicted by James 4 years ago, asking for her actions to go under the microscope. In a tweet, McLaughlin says that he is seeking disciplinary proceedings to determine whether she is fit to hold a law license in the state. He says he believes she is not, and that her license should be revoked. I asked him tonight whether this was payback for James indicting him for stealing campaign funds, something that a jury quickly acquitted him of.
I completely believe in due process. And by the way, I haven't been a victim of Tish James's lawfare. I know what that's like. So I'm not calling for her to resign, but I do think that it's incumbent upon the judicial district to do a review here and see if she shouldn't be suspended in the meantime while these charges are pending.
Trouble is piling up. So now this is America First Legal. This is a group run by Trump's allies, formed a formal ethics complaint against the Attorney General Letitia James. They sent this straight to New York's Committee on Professional Standards, which is basically the people who decide if you get to keep calling yourself a lawyer. So as you guys can see right here, America First is a national nonprofit organization working to protect the rule of law, due process, and equal protection for all Americans. We are writing to file a complaint against New York Attorney General Letitia James based on information that has recently made public. On April 14, 2005, the Director of U.S. Federal Housing sent a letter to the Attorney General Pan Bondi and the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche referring to Ms. James for criminal prosecution. They are not playing around. As shown below, the evidence indicates that Ms. James falsified bank documents and property records to require government-backed assistance, loans, and more favorable loan terms. While serving as the Attorney General for the state of New York, Ms. James purchased a home in Norfolk, Virginia. In the process, declared that she intended to occupy this property as my principal residence. This meant that she would be a full-time resident of Norfolk, Virginia. The obvious reason for making this certification would be to obtain a lower interest rate on the mortgage loan. Mortgage fraud. Additionally, on another occasion, Ms. James appeared to have misrepresented a number of dwelling units in a multi-dwelling building that she owned. She continued to misrepresent the number of dwelling units in subsequent years to obtain additional benefits to which she was not entitled, including a mortgage refinancing through a federally backed lender at a lower rate than typically offered through the private market. Fraud. The money that she received, I mean, again, if this is true, she's going to pay that back. Not really good. So their message was simple. We think Letitia James broke the rules. Investigate her really hard. And this is not just some minor technicality. She's accused of mortgage fraud and probably insurance fraud too. They're saying that she cooked the paperwork to get sweetheart deals that she wasn't supposed to get. That's not just shade, that's criminal. Here's what Letitia James is staring down the barrel as of right now. Criminal charges from the DOJ, losing her law license if the New York Ethics Board decided she violated professional rules. Because if you can't be trusted with a mortgage application, how the hell are you supposed to be trusted as the top law enforcement officer of New York? If she loses either battle, it's a disaster. And if she loses both, basically it's game over. No more Attorney General, no more political clout, just another story of a high-profile figure flying too close to the sun for doing stuff basically decades ago. The rules of professional conduct define fraud as conduct that has to deceive. Ms. James' material misrepresentations meet the definition and call into question her candor, trustworthiness, and honesty. If Ms. James took the actions described in Mr. been violated, a lawyer or law firm shall not engage in illegal conduct that adversarially reflects on the lawyer's honesty, trustworthiness, or fitness as a lawyer. engaged in conduct involving dishonesty, fraud, deceit, or misrepresentation. Not good. So Letitia is not just fighting one fight, she's fighting two wars at the same time. Federal pressure and now state pressure. At the same time, Trump's allies are hitting her from every level, trying to get her disbarred. No law license, no attorney general, no political future. This is the classic squeeze play. If the feds can get you, then the state might. Even if neither puts her in jail, she might be too damaged to survive this politically. So right now, Letitia James is stuck between a rock and a hard place, a giant lawsuit-sized anvil dangling over her head. But this is really political, right? Let's be honest. No one's going to pretend that this is all about justice and the rule of law. Politics is dripping off this situation. Seriously, the ethics complaint didn't just come out of nowhere. It's filed by America First Legal, a group run by Trump loyalists. The same Trump that Letitia James made a career out of suing and investigating. So this is just a big beef right here. She went after Trump really hard, and now Trump's people are coming after her hard. This is revenge, plain and simple. But just because it's political doesn't mean the accusations are fake. And that's the scary part for Letitia James. She has to put every single contract she signed, every single thing that she said about those properties were 100% squeaky clean. And according to evidence, it's not. Because if it's not, politics won't save her, and neither will lawyers. Letitia can continue to say that these accusations are baseless. She's saying that the Trump crew is just throwing out mud there because she sued Trump last year for overinflating his assets. And she already lawyered up heavy hiring Abe Lovell, one of the biggest legal guns you can call when your career is on life support. But even with this legal A-team, there's no guarantee. Because once this case hits a disciplinary board, they don't need beyond a reasonable doubt like a criminal case. All they need is a preponderance of evidence. Basically, just 51% sure that you messed up. And then they can hammer her. So is it possible that she can sweep this under the rug? No, I don't think so. This is politically charged. She made an enemy out of the president. Even if she beats the criminal side, the ethics board might just decide her behavior violated the trust of New Yorkers put on her, and you can't just shake that off. Especially when you are the attorney general of the state, the very person who's supposed to be setting an example. She's got Trump's people coming after her from the outside, the DOJ poking around inside, and her own career dangling by a thread. She calls these claims baseless. Let's see if she's right, because right now they are not playing games. They want her out, and they want her disbarred, and they want her disgraced. So what we're going to see in the next couple of weeks about this situation, things are not looking good for Letitia James. She might go from the powerhouse prosecutor to a case study in career self-destruction in a couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Do you guys remember when Katy Perry was getting called out a couple weeks ago because her, Gayle King, and a few others went on a trip to space that everyone was side-eyeing the heck out of? Well, apparently Katy has some regrets. Gayle, not so much. But we are going to get into what has been said since this whole space tourism journey that they went on. If you don't remember, earlier this month, Katy Perry participated in a brief suborbital space flight aboard Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket, marking the company's 11th human mission. The all-female crew included Katy, Gayle King, Lauren Sanchez, Aisha Bowe, Amanda Wen, and Carrie Ann Flynn. The flight lasted approximately 10 minutes and 21 seconds, and during the flight, Katy performed a rendition of What a Wonderful World, and she also held up her upcoming tour set list and carried a daisy in tribute to her daughter, Daisy. She described the experience as a lifelong dream and expressed hopes that it would inspire unity and empowerment. However, the mission received mixed reactions, as we have discussed before. A lot of people labeled it as a superficial publicity stunt, questioning its environmental impact and relevance amid global economic challenges. I mean, people were just like, there's people out here that can't even buy eggs, and you guys are going to space for what? Like, for fun? Just totally in shock that this was something that they were doing, but also painting it out to be this like big empowering thing. Environmental concerns were raised, and people were just overall criticizing the purpose of this sort of space tourism, seeing it as something the rich can do just to do something, meanwhile people are struggling. The whole flight was made to be such a spectacle because it was an all-female flight crew, but it wasn't as if they were going because they were all-female scientists about to do groundbreaking research. Everyone was more so just like, you guys have the ability to get sent to space. Cool. Why is this being marketed like they're doing something so remarkable? It just left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, including other celebs who were very vocal in their opinions on the space travel. People wrote about what Olivia Munn had to say in an interview where she shared her thoughts on the flight to space, writing, "What's the point? Is it historic that you guys are going on a ride? I think it's a bit gluttonous," she said. Space exploration was to further our knowledge and to help mankind. What are they gonna do up there that has made it better for us down here? And Emily Ratajkowski made several TikToks sharing her opinions on the subject as well.
I think that this space mission is confusing to people because seeing women and people of color in spaces like science and politics that have not previously included them feels and really looks like, optically, looks like progress. But the truth is that having a man who has gained his power and become a part of the 1% purely through exploitation and greed, deciding to take his fiance and a few other famous women to space for space tourism is not progress. Instead, just speaks to the fact that we are absolutely living in an oligarchy where there's a very small group of people who are interested in going to space for the sake of getting a new lease on life, while the rest of the population, most people on planet Earth, are worried about paying rent or, having dinner for their kids. I saw a creator on here who said that privilege is not an accomplishment. And further, and say that exploitation is certainly not an accomplishment, and then being able to take the privilege that you have gained from exploitation and greed of the planet, of resources, of human beings, and then doing something like going to space for 11 minutes is certainly not an accomplishment. That's why this all is giving like Hunger Games, right? Why I'm making another video is because I think we're in a place in the world where we need to be able to discern what real progress looks like. And what happened yesterday was nothing like that.
Olivia Wilde also poked fun at the situation, having posted this tweet to her story that said, "Getting off a commercial flight in 2025," and she wrote, $1 billion bought some good memes, I guess. The women looked relieved upon return, kissing the ground and making it seem as though they had truly risked their lives for a greater cause than just seeing space for a few short moments and announcing a tour set list. To which people were like, nobody forced you guys to go. And now, as some time has passed, some of the women are reflecting on their time in space, and it seems Katy Perry might have some regrets now. According to Daily Mail, Katy doesn't regret going to space. It was life-changing. What she does regret is making a public spectacle out of it, the insider exclusively revealed to DailyMail.com. The source admitted that the star now regrets kissing the ground after the flight, as well as her close-up camera moments inside the capsule, where she held a daisy up to the camera, promoted the set list to her upcoming tour, and sang the lyrics to What a Wonderful World, all while suspended in microgravity. And honestly, I don't think a lot of people would have cared had they gone to space, much like a lot of the other celebrities and, rich people that have gone to space before. I don't think anyone really would have made it this big of a deal or try to cancel them over it if they hadn't tried to make it seem like they were doing this groundbreaking work. Yes, it was a big deal that it was an all-female flight crew. That's really cool, but they definitely made it seem like it was all female scientists and they're going and they're gonna do some really great amazing stuff, and it's super special that it's all females and they're really representing, they're inspiring women. It's all you're really inspiring is that hey, if you're rich, you could go to space for a couple minutes. But I will say Gayle King, however, doesn't like the fact that people have been so critical of their flight, saying that she's found it irritating that people have called this a ride to space, because she says people aren't saying that about the men who have gone, to which I'll say I do think it is because it was a whole spectacle. That's why they've gotten so much criticism. I don't think it's because they're women. I think because it was all women, they tried to market it as this big special thing, and then there were more eyes on it, and
You
then people were
bitches.
wait, what is actually going on here?
How are you gonna sell something that doesn't?
That they were going for a more, a better reason other than just going for a few minutes. Because they were making it out to be this really big special thing, and it is cool to go to space, but I don't know. It's
Cool, just bent my needle. Thanks, assholes.
Katy Perry gets the opportunity to go to space, but I think had it been a whole
God
flight
fucking
of
damn it.
female crew members that have never got the opportunity to go to space before,
So fucking
and
lame.
have worked really hard researching in this field, that would be different. But not everyone aboard this flight had that type of background, so I don't know.
Really
There's
wanted to
just been a
use
lot
that
being said
one.
about it. I think that if there was a group of all men that were going to space and they were trying to hype it up as them doing this crazy
Fucking pisses
amazing
me
trip
off.
to space, and then people found out that they were just kind of doing space tourism and taking a few pictures and announcing their set list, that people would have reacted the same way. I do think in some cases females do get a lot more hate than men sometimes, but this particular situation, I don't think it came down to gender. I just think it was painted out to be more important than people felt, and so that's why people have diminished it to just a ride to space. I think when men have gone, it just wasn't made out to be a big spectacle, just rich guys going to space using their wealth, but this, the marketing made it seem like it was more important. Anyway, Gail has defended that Blue Origin as a company has a greater purpose than just frivolous space exploration, and that they're doing things to try and make things better here on Earth. And for those who don't know, Blue Origin was founded by Jeff Bezos in 2000, aiming to make space travel more accessible and sustainable by developing reusable rockets and space infrastructure. The company's long-term vision is to enable millions of people to live and work in space. Its efforts focus on suborbital space tourism through the New Shepard rocket. Ultimately, Blue Origin seeks to build the foundation for permanent human presence in space, supporting everything from space habitats to industrial activity beyond Earth. Now, these ladies going to space wasn't for them to do research, it was for an experience. Of course, every time the company sends someone to space, I'm sure it is research
God damn it.
for them and how to improve the experience and things like that. But going back to what Gail was saying, talking about, inspiring little girls who saw them and now want to go to space. I mean, I think it's different if you're an astronaut inspiring young girls to want to go to space. I feel like that's like really fulfilling. But these ladies, I mean, it's just like anyone can go. Like, if you have the funds, you could go to space right now. You just pay for a seat on the plane. It's like inspiring someone to want to be like in first class or something. The destination is just space. Like, it doesn't mean you're inspiring someone to be a pilot because you were on the plane. Anyway, people have reacted to this defense online, writing, "This has got to be the stupidest thing I have seen all year. Rich women take a ride to space for a photo op. I'm so encouraged not. They spent a whole 8 minutes wasting millions of dollars. Heroes, each and every one." She is entitled and delusional for comparing herself to an actual astronaut. It takes years of intense training and education. I've lost respect for these ladies. Oh, I can't wait to see that research that was done in 4 minutes. Nothing but a glorified carnival ride by high ego women that couldn't bother being humbled. I mean, at least from what sources said, it seemed Katie was regretful of how the whole thing was such a spectacle. It seems that she could somehow admit how the whole thing looked compared to what they actually did in space, but clearly Gail isn't backing down from feeling like they were criticized too harshly for what it was. So that is what has been said about this entire space mission, sort of some of the things that have been said afterwards by some of the people that were in attendance on this flight. I want to know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.
What a fucking nightmare. Oh, you fucking asshole. I quit. This is not fun. This is just fucking annoying. Fuck you, string. I'm pissed at my fucking string or my needle that I needed in order to use an entire piece of embroidery floss is broken. I didn't want to use short pieces of thread. Just want to use a whole piece of embroidery floss, cut and dry, simple. But no. so small. I don't want it that small. I wanted it big. Arrgh. Well, fuck you too, bitch. Yo, fuck you and your mom. I hate using this thin thread. I hate it. Fucking hate it. And I'm just scratching up my fabric. It's not the right kind of fabric. Wow, you are really that big of a dick, huh? Okay, alright, well, we'll just have to do it longer. Getting the hang of it. God damn it. Just let me get to this end, please. It's gonna be fine. Oh wait, no it's not, because you have to fucking separate all these threads. Separating the threads is literally gonna stop me from doing this entire craft. Crap. That means they're here somewhere. Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking Christ. Please. I do not want to fucking have to thread this thing every 5 minutes because I have to cut 6-inch long sections of thread. Who the fuck makes all the sizes for this 2 strands wide? Like, why wouldn't the smallest size start with, like, you know, or like most of the sizes function without having to separate your embroidery floss? Like, that's annoying. This isn't like cross stitch where it takes you 4 hours to do, you know, a square foot of space. I want a fucking punch needle that works with yarn. I didn't mean to buy one that only works for embroidery floss. But the ones that I want, they don't sell at the store. You have to buy them online. Wow, you're just in a big fucking kick your own ass day today, aren't you, Heather? I'm kicking my ass. She loves her perch. I need to smoke a little green medicine before I get angry again. I love Jesus, but I smoke a little.
Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. We're here with our special guest, Stephen Gardner. We're going to talk about the Wisconsin judge that was arrested for illegally obstructing and helping a criminal get away from the police. That's what happened. And there she is, that they arrested her. And I'm confused, though. Is she just going into prison because she looks like she's just getting out after a 50-year stretch? Am I? I don't know.
Did CNN take that video?
But so,
I'm Holly. And I'm Bridget. And this is Girls Next Level. Welcome back to Girls Next Level podcast. We are back with part 2 of Guess Who's Coming to Luncheon. I'm about ready to take my family to the Playboy studio.
Yes. I'm curious, like, how do you feel rewatching these scenes and seeing your brother in them?
Well, my brother, in case you guys don't know, passed away almost 10 years ago now, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
The time that has passed. You know, when I was rewatching this for YouTube, I feel more of an emotional connection with him through the Jamaica episode. This one, not so much. And I was trying to think about why that is. I think because you just don't see any of his personality in this episode. He's very, very buttoned up. And what I feel when I watch this episode, taking them through the studio, is I'm feeling not embarrassment, but just that kind of like giddy, silly, but let's keep everything repressed that I think him and my dad were both feeling, just because you know you're being watched through the cameras and you don't want to look like a perv or an ass or somebody who's trying to be disrespectful. So it's just kind of like a smirking, but I'm gonna be good and be
What's
chill
wrong?
energy.
I feel it so hard.
Right?
I feel it.
Oh, is it hurt? Are you okay? You don't know what's happening? Oh, Mama, it's okay. Did that hurt? Is it all gone? Is it still hurting? Why don't you come lay down right here? Why don't you come lay down right here? You want to come lay down right here? Yeah, maybe? Okay. Yeah, there you go. Lay down. Lay down. Let me just look at your belly for a second, okay? The only thing that I think I need is a sucker. It's like a nose sucker. But I think I have everything else that I would really need. I have gloves. I have towel. She wants to sit in my lap. Come on. Gloves, towels. Come here. Right here. Oh, mommy, is it hurting? Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Are we gonna have kittens? Are we about to have kittens? Let's get this needle away. Let's feel your uterus. Just breathe. Are you really feeling like pushing already? Oh, it's over. That's a little bit better. Y'all, she's in labor, bro. She's in labor, dude. She's having kittens right now. Fuck. Hopefully this is a false alarm. But my other cat had like 2 false alarms, her mother, where I was like sure she was in labor, and then she wasn't. So, put this in here so that I don't lose my project. It's okay, Mun Bun. You're okay. I need to get a bin ready right now. This is just my stuff. Can you see your belly? Feels tight, but like, ooh, I'm feeling moving. Babies are moving around in there. What is that, Mun Bun?